Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Taylor Jackson, as you know, because you clicked on this and it says my name. I'll stop using that joke. I'll stop rehashing things. We'll move forward and create new things, new jokes, new lives, new clouds. Just looking around, just saying things. It's poetry. It's not poetry. Today we're talking about something that's interesting to me. I don't know if this is going to be interesting to everyone in the world, but it's something that I had noticed when out traveling. So to put this into a little bit of background, Lindsay and I were on our honeymoon. We were gone for a month around kind of Southeast Asia and then up through into Japan. When we were in Hong Kong, we didn't really have anything planned. I had one photo location that I wanted to go to. I'm sure you've probably seen a photo of it before, or if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen it. It's like a crazy, densely populated apartment building complex. I think they call it the Monster Building, or the Monster Complex in Hong Kong. And I just wanted to go there. I wanted to get the photo. I don't know. I realized over this past year that I really do enjoy photographing the cliche elements of travel. And for a long time, I was like, I would go to Paris and I'd be like, I am not taking a single photo of the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to tell the story of Paris through like the back alleys and the Latin Quarter. I guess you couldn't use Latin Quarter because that's even as cliche, I think, as the Eiffel Tower. But I would do my best to like tell the story of places without actually documenting any iconic elements. And while this is like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like an ego thing that you go there and it's like, yeah, I didn't even shoot the Eiffel Tower. So now I've kind of shut up and just started doing the work that I actually want to do rather than trying to like create work for this like invisible audience that I believe like highly values my skills even though they don't even really exist. So I would be like, I think this year is kind of the turning point that I have actually turned, where I actually go in and I photograph those cliche destinations. So when we're in Hong Kong, I want to go to this Monster Building because it's like, I would say that in at least my eyes, like the most famous, the most iconic photography location, even if it is like crazy overshot. We go there. It's a little bit sad because there's now signs up as of, I think, February of this year that you can't actually do professional photography without a permit there. We were there on like a Tuesday morning at like 7:30 a.m. So I felt okay with kind of breaking that law. But I realized that law is there to kind of protect the people that actually live there and the people that actually own the shops that are kind of around that area. Because I could definitely imagine like a blue hour on a Saturday in the summer, how busy that area would be. There was just like thousands of photographers. And also, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like that's like a potential crime spot. If I'm a criminal in Hong Kong, I'm probably going to want to go hang out where there's like thousands of tourist photographers. Anyways, there's signs up now, unfortunate, but I totally understand it. Happy that I got in there to take a few photos while it was still gray area. No, it was already illegal. So did the photos, hopped on the train. We're on the train and we have really no plans. We're just kind of going somewhere more downtown than that because you're kind of in the, I don't know, like South End. I don't really understand the geography of Hong Kong. It kind of confuses me. So we're heading into a more downtown area and we realize that if we stay on the train that we're on, that we can go to Hong Kong Disney. And that is not a place that I've ever been like, when we're in Hong Kong, we're going to Disney. But at the time, we were like, we really have nothing else to do. We're kind of sick of making decisions at this point because we'd been gone for like 23, 24 days. And we're just like, I don't know, like this sounds better than just like walking around and eating and drinking all day. So let's go do a Disney thing. So we take the train and eventually we actually get in an Uber because we realize that I guess it's like a double connect or something to actually get there. So we hop out, we grab some water, we get in an Uber. We spend a little bit of money to get there. We arrive at Hong Kong Disney and we realize very quickly that it's not a whole lot like, at least in the character sense, what we're used to here in North America, what we're used to in Florida, what we're used to in California. We're not like huge Disney buffs, but we have been to the parks a few times. One of our friends, she started a thing called Disney Bounding, which is where you style your clothing based on a Disney character, because as an adult, it's kind of, it's not frowned upon. It's actually, you can't wear a costume to the park because then you convince kids that you're a character and then things get weird. So she started designing just like style boards of outfits that you could wear, that if you wanted to be inspired by like cruise ship Mickey or whatever, that you could buy these items and put together an outfit. And essentially emulate what that character is, but in regular human clothing. So it's called Disney Bounding, and it's kind of a big deal now. She's like, her blog absolutely blew up and it changed her life. That's another story for another podcast. Maybe I'll have Leslie on to talk about how just like one small simple decision to just like start doing this passion project actually turned into something that she is now, that's her life, that she exists within that because of one afternoon. She just decided like, hey, I want to do this thing. I'm going to Disney. I'm excited. I'm going to build all these outfits. I'm going to share them on Tumblr. And now, years later, that's her life, which is really cool. So we're on our way to Hong Kong Disney, circle back here, and we get into the park. We're looking around, and there is this stuffed animal character named Duffy, and Duffy is absolutely everywhere. Duffy does not exist, at least in what we've seen, in Florida or in California. So this is a very centralized, like, we're thinking like right now he's just in Hong Kong Disney. I look it up. He's also in Tokyo Disney, and I guess a little bit in Paris Disney as well, but completely unknown to the North American market and really existing within kind of a small bubble of the parks over there, and also like the entire culture, I guess. So maybe he's a bigger deal than just like the park. But this kind of got me thinking about how, as photographers, we exist in these small bubbles. So that, say I'm a wedding photographer in Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, and with the exception of photographers that I've met like you guys, that outside of maybe like a 2-hour radius, I don't think many brides are going to be contacting me to photograph their wedding. If I'm doing a destination wedding, it's usually because it's a connection from closer to home here. So if I'm going to like British Columbia, or we're going down to the Caribbean to do a photo shoot or a wedding or anything, it's usually because of something based locally here. And it really got me thinking that you can be like a local Duffy, that you can dominate and be everywhere in a specific spot, in a specific industry, in your local hometown. And that is, I think, the best way to happiness, at least for me. And it's also relaxing knowing that I don't have to have this like global wedding photography brand, that I can just relax and just chill out and do what I do here and do a great job of it and get locally known. But outside of that, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect too much of my life happiness, that I'm not really highly known in Toronto anymore, because I moved out of Toronto a couple years ago. So maybe take this as just like a little bit of a relaxing moment to realize that all you have to do is compete with your local area and be the Duffy of your local market, and not have to worry about diversifying across all the cities in your country or all the cities in the world even. And know that if you dominate and you are really well known in your local area, those opportunities will start to pop up. And I think that is a much more direct way to success in destination weddings than it is to like try to be marketing to those specific areas. I know I've talked about this at least on YouTube in the past, that if I'm like going on a trip somewhere, if I'm going to Paris or if I'm going to like New York, that I will do some targeted advertising locally in that market to try to drum up like a few either family shoots or couple shoots, or find free models if I just want to go there and I have an idea for a few photos that I want to take. I'm happy to do that, but the paying jobs are usually the jobs that they connect with locally, and there is just a huge sense of trust because they know like friends of friends that know you, or you shot their friends' weddings, so they're going to be a lot more likely to bring you out to somewhere foreign from where you usually are. And that's how a lot of my weddings have come up. So, or a lot of my destination weddings and destination shoots have come up. So by just focusing on your local area, not worrying about going like across the entire like width of your country and getting a piece of every small market individually, just focus on what you're doing, where you're doing it. If you want to be like the best food photographer in Boston, like just start doing that, and you will get jobs in other cool places based on that. But don't try to go out of your way to really just start advertising kind of all across different markets, because it will spread you a little bit too thin, because you are probably just one person. If you're anything at all like my photography business, you're just one human. So don't stress yourself out. Don't strain your financial resources. And also that I feel like keeps your marketing a lot more targeted than by trying to like spread everything out and create videos for all different markets. I feel like if you just focus more on really getting known in your specific market, your specific home, I think that is the best thing that you can do for your business. So that is all for today. I hope that you enjoyed today's podcast. I am Taylor Jackson, as you know, and Patreon last Monday, we put up the hybrid wedding photography YouTube.com/video course. So if you're interested in that, you can head over there. It's an hour and a little bit. It's a lot of useful information, I think, boiled into the smallest possible package. It comes with a full wedding day as well. So full wedding day of doing video, which I think is not something that I have officially seen online yet. I've done a few hybrid coverage videos on YouTube, but they happen a lot faster. I slow it down a lot in this course just to actually kind of show you exactly what I'm doing rather than just trying to like wow you with visuals, which I feel like there is an element of that in Facebook in YouTube, because I really do want to kind of just like showcase everything quickly and inspire. Whereas I feel like Patreon is a little more slow down just like a little bit in order to be able to teach, but also in the most efficient way possible. So other than that, hopefully some interesting things happening in the next couple weeks with this podcast, but that will be decided in a little bit. Also, next month I will for sure be giving away my Canon M50, which is the camera that I use pretty much all summer for creating video content, because I'm purchasing a Canon R in the next couple of days. So no more need for that. And rather than trading it in, I figured I would just give it to somebody in the Patreon community that really does want to start creating their own videos. With that Canon M50, I'm going to give you the super wide lens as well as a regular lens, the kit lens that it comes with. So if you're a member at Patreon, you can win that. That's fun, right? And then also this winter, we will be doing a workshop at my house here in Waterloo that you can also win. I'm going to give 3 Patreon members flights here, as well as the actual workshop's going to be for free. But beyond that, so the remaining, 17 seats of the 20 seats that I'm going to be offering out, if you're a Patreon member, you can submit and get one of those seats if you want to come here. You just have to make sure that you can actually make it here, because that's important. All right, that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow.